Some of my favorite memories as a kid is family movie night. Sitting in our living room, watching movies that we rented from our local movie gallery, rest in peace. And when I got to pick, there was a good chance it was going to be a martial arts film. I've always loved martial arts movies. Films like Gareth Edwards' The Raid, Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, and Donnie Yen's Ip Man. I've always enjoyed the brutal fight scenes in them because of the impact, the awesome choreography, and just how badass they look. My favorite type of martial arts film, though, are the more goofy kind, and the master of this is Jackie Chan. I have always been fascinated by Chan's portrayal of the Kung Fu, compared to other well-known martial arts actors like Donnie Yen or Jet Li, who portray their martial arts films with an elegant dancing grace or hard, brutal, right-in-your-face action power fantasy. Chan portrays himself as the underdog, putting himself in impossible odds. I love everything about Jackie Chan films, and although I do enjoy his American-made films, where the man knows how to shine is in his Hong Kong films of the 80s and 90s. Films like Rumble in the Bronx, Meals on Wheels, and the iconic Legend of the Drunken Master made me absolutely love his films. And I hope to one day speak about these films, but to me, they don't fit the format of a beautiful mess. In my opinion, at least. But the Jackie Chan film I'm going to talk about today is one that has a special place in my heart, and that film is City Hunter. City Hunter is a crime action comedy based on the Japanese manga and anime of the same name, and this is where we begin. The City Hunter anime is a crime action comedy series, centered around Ryo Saiba, a jack of all trades, taking odd jobs from bodyguard work to private investigation. After watching this anime for this essay, it has a certain charm to it. It's like a reverse Lupin III. I compare the two because they are both neo-noir crime comedies that also have a dark tone and an ambiguous line of good and bad, as well as a lovable roguish lead who's a badass but is also extreme HR complaint waiting to happen. But where they differ is the fact that Lupin is a criminal who does good outside of the law, while Ryo is doing good for money. City Hunter's music has more of an 80s disco feel, and Lupin plays off the jazz. City Hunter also has a smaller ensemble cast. It centers mostly around Ryo and his partner Carrie, with the cast of rotating recurring characters. I enjoyed this anime a lot. It was one of those hidden gems that you would probably find pressing random on Crunchyroll, and the episodes I watched were fun rides. The Adventure of the Week format really helps it out, because besides for the first few episodes, you could watch this out of order and not be confused. And the plots aren't just generic, there's a variety to them, from hunting murderers to political intrigue. Plus, coming from Sunrise Studios, the animation is stellar. But I mean, this is the same company that brought to life Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, and Gundam. They know how to use colors to create a mood, from the lighter pinks, yellows, and blues for the day scenes, contrasted with the darker blues and grays for the night scenes, as well as knowing how to animate their fight scenes, which are extremely smooth. Where the way the series works the most is the way they are able to juggle both the goofy and serious scenes. Ryo is a womanizer and kind of a goof when people first meet him, but he's able to shift to a cold-hearted badass with a revolver from 0 to 60. So being able to find a balance and duality is nice to have. So when I found out the City Hunter Jackie Chan film came from that, it felt a little jarring. You see, Jackie Chan's City Hunter, I personally feel, is an anime adaptation by name only. Like yes, they use the names of the main characters and the side characters, but from there on, it's its own parallel world. Remember when I said that the anime is able to shift from goofy to serious? The City Hunter film feels more like a live-action slapstick Tom and Jerry cartoon, which is sad because I ended up enjoying the anime series a lot, so it sucks to see that the film couldn't do the same balance of duality. It also sucks to see Ryo being dumbed down. Like, yeah, if you watch the anime, Ryo can be played kinda goofy, but there's a quiet sadness to him as well. You don't get that lovable roguish charm, but instead he's just the butt of all the jokes. Jackie Chan is an amazing martial artist, but we don't get to see Ryo do his quick draw gunslinging, which is a bit disappointing. Another problem with this is a flimsy story. Like, the story is literally there to get you from one stunt to another. I get it. I'm being picky again about the story. And why am I doing this? This is a kung fu film from the 90s, and the goal is to be fun and entertaining. But this suffers from too many subplots within the main plot. Like, the main story is Ryo and Carrie trying to search for this Japanese tycoon's daughter, which for the first few minutes you do, but then leads to hijinks and they end up on a boat with all these other side characters and the main antagonist. And I feel they spend too much time with some of these side characters that really don't have much of a payoff. They're all just kind of there for flat jokes or cool action scenes. But you really don't get to spend enough time with them to care for any of them, which sucks because in the anime, like I said, you get to spend time with the side characters in Ryo and it's fun. This is like they briefly encounter Ryo and then they appear again later and you're like, who is this guy again? Like, they try to bring some of the side characters from the series and it doesn't really work. And then they try to put them in this weird 3-minute dance scene that feels a little out of place. Another major thing that makes me uncomfortable about the film is how they treat women characters. They're treated as a combination of sexual objects and a punching bag. Like, I know in the anime, Ryo is a womanizer and kind of a horn dog, and in this film he still is, but he's not the problem. It's the side characters again. I want to be fair with this example. I'm using the English dub, but there is a good 2-minute monologue rant this one side character has about how he's going to ravish Carrie, and if it was just a one-off joke, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But my god, it goes on for a little bit too long. And, okay, if sexual assault triggers you, I ask you to please skip to this timestamp on the video now. But the one scene that is extremely uncomfortable, and those who have been victims of sexual assault, I wouldn't recommend this film, is they literally turn a sexual assault scene into a Three Stooges style slapstick scene, and it is one of the most uncomfortable things to watch. But, okay, after all this and the things that I've said, the question I have to ask myself is why do I still enjoy this film today? I guess because it's always fun to watch Jackie Chan and his stunt crew do what they do best, and that's awesome fights and stunts. Like I said before, the plot is flimsy and pretty much non-existent in the center of the film, but what the plot does is get you to the next stunt or the next fight scene. One of my favorite stunts from the film is the skateboard scene. The framework sets up every action to lead to a reaction. Chan is skating away from at least a dozen stuntmen, and it gives you a feel of this big chase. Even the setup of what is going to happen. You get the wide shot of the glass window, and then a shot of Chan diving in, which jumps into him and a group of skaters jumping out of that window. More like crashing, but you know what I mean. Jackie Chan was heavily inspired by silent film actors like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. If I could quote an article from 1995, Faster Than a Speeding Bullet, but also Humanly Fallible by Neil Strauss, there's a link in the description below. Strauss writes, he is a gifted comedian. His subtle facial expressions, imaginative use of props, and willingness to be injured for his art are reminiscent of Buster Keaton and Harry Lloyd. And Chan also says in the article, I wanted to be like Chaplin or Buster Keaton, but all the martial arts directors I worked with wanted me to copy Bruce Lee. You can see the inspiration a lot in this film, from the stunts they do. One scene that has a silent film feel and look is the athletic gymnastics of the boat rope scene. Here you see the actress dodging the rope while also moving around switching views to show you that this was done in one take. Also, if you took the sound effects out of this scene and just keep in the music, it would look just like a colored silent film. The extreme slapstick is what makes this not a good City Hunter adaptation. But I do have to say the slapstick comedy in this film for the most part makes this a fun film to watch. Two scenes that come to mind that stick out to me is where Chan has to face two taller people in a movie theater. This scene is straight from the classic Jackie Chan I'm the Underdog book, having him face people who put him at a disadvantage. The scene is well choreographed, and the subtle homage to Bruce Lee makes it even better. The second scene is a literal Street Fighter fight. It is a combination of a few things. The what the fuck, where did this come from-ness of the scene, the fact that they have Gary Daniels dressed as Ken and Jackie Chan playing both Chun-Li and E Honda, and then you add them portraying the moves badly with the sound effects, makes the scene funny and entertaining. Also, it came out a year before Jean-Claude Van Damme's live-action Street Fighter film, and it's a better movie in 3 minutes. But let's be honest, the one thing you're here to listen to, if you still are, thank you, I really need this, is, are the Kung Fu fights cool? And the answer is, well, of course! Why are you even watching a Jackie Chan film if you're not looking for the badass fight scenes? Whatever gripes or nitpicks I have of this film, there is one thing I can never fault Chan for. The man knows how to choreograph fight scenes. Quoting again from that New York Times article, I write each scene with a rhythm, he said. I wanted the audience to feel like they're dancing. When I make a fight scene, I'll write the music first. and then make sure the sounds of the punching, kicking, and breathing come out like the music. When I go into the theater to watch my films, I watch the audience, and if their bodies are moving like they're sitting at a disco, then I know I've been successful. And after reading that, I started to notice how Chan creates a scene. The fight that mirrors what Chan said in that interview the most is the final fight between Jackie Chan and Richard Norton. Everything flows so smoothly. It combines all the elements I thoroughly enjoyed about the City Hunter film. The slapstick style of fighting helps make the scene fun. The music helps both the slapstick and the choreography, making it feel like a fun dance. And the fight choreography in general is just awesome. But the best part is the way the camera cuts to help with all the impacts of the hits. Jackie Chan's City Hunter isn't a good adaptation to City Hunter. If you want something close, there's a French film called Nicky Larson and the Cupid's Perfume, based on the French adaptation of the City Hunter anime. And my god, is that a City Hunter film. Also, the trailer proves X Gonna Give It To You goes with everything. But what this film is a funny, goofy comedy with fun stunts, and if I'm honest, there are two other Jackie Chan films I love more than this, but I will always have a love for this film. Because Jackie Chan, he's always been an idol to me. Seeing someone of Asian descent killing it in Hollywood was far and few in between when I was growing up, so it was nice to see someone being a badass and an awesome lead. Thanks to writing this essay, I've become a huge fan of the City Hunter manga and anime, and I highly recommend you should give it a watch. And if you're a fan of Jackie Chan's American film library and want to see what he was like in the Hong Kong days and how he can go balls to the walls with all of his action stunts, I think you should check this film out. Because City Hunter is a beautiful mess that will always have a spot in my heart. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, link for the article down below. You should give it a read. And also, if you want to support me, you can go ahead and support me on Patreon. Link is also down below, but I like, subscribe, and share. Also helps me too. I've been working on a few more essays, so now I'm hoping to make them bi-weekly.